Right, welcome to 010 Podcast. We are in part B, I would say, or something. So we're doing check-ins with Andi and I, and we recently did mine, so now we're going to do hers. So now I get to interview Andi. Just a checking in with, I don't know, it's been a crazy year, almost a year and a half. It's already May. So it's been a crazy um, 18, 19 months. So let's kind of dive in and just see what all has changed in the last few months here. So, Andi, how are you feeling today? What's going on?
I feel good. I feel good. I'm very fortunate. I feel good the majority of the time. Um, I'm fortunate in that way. And it's not always been that way. We talked about something like that earlier, but I used to wake up in the mornings and could barely stand up straight, and my feet, my legs, all of it was sore. I literally dreaded putting my feet on the floor because it hurt all the time. My body hurt all the time. And looking back, and that happened for many, many, many years. And I just thought it was aging. It's so funny what we think is okay with aging, right? We're just taught that's just aging. That happens when you get old. It does not have to happen. It just doesn't have to happen. But that's a whole nother discussion, right? But anyway, I'm very fortunate that I don't have that anymore. I get my feet get on the ground. I'm stand up straight. My legs don't hurt. My feet don't hurt. I'm happy. I'm happy to wake up every morning. Period. Let alone, yeah, with a healthy body. So yeah, I feel great. I feel great. I feel super. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Tell me, let's dive into something that what's a few things that you learned about yourself in the last year?
Mm. Oh my gosh. Maybe not learned, but solidified, you
Sure.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, hmm, that's a great question. What have I learned about myself? I mean, I learned that I am a very positive person. I have not always been that. Um, and I and I've learned that I can be, I mean, I always knew that I could tolerate and handle stress very well. But I think in the past, I was internalizing a lot of that. So in the moment, I could be very calm and, steady under pressure, but it always came out somehow, somewhere else. It typically came out in relationships or, so it came out somewhere else.
Mm,
Um, but that doesn't happen anymore. Now I think I've just, um, maybe I just don't hold on to things anymore. Maybe I've learned to release as I go. I'm not sure because both of those. I mean, I do release as I go. I release in the shower in the mornings. It's almost subconscious. It's not even a thing that I necessarily think about anymore. I've just learned how to release and let go.
hmm.
And I'm sure there are things that I do hold on to, but it's pretty rare that they turn into something. I just have learned to let things go. That's probably one thing I've learned about myself is I just don't hold on to things anymore
Yeah.
at
Do you
all.
have when you have like maybe an aha moment where you're like, oh wow, this didn't bother me this time or whatever. Do you have any of those from like kind of explaining that?
It's been a while, but yeah,
Yeah.
for sure when changes first started happening, and then you're just like, oh yeah, that doesn't bug me, or I don't care about that, or I don't that what a waste all the time. How did I waste all of my time worrying about this or thinking about that, or um yeah, life is a lot better when you don't hold on to things or let things ruin your day. Or well, there's one thing I'm not good at letting go of. That's traffic. I think we've talked about this before. I could definitely I have road rage inside of me, and maybe that's another great reason why I love living in Hazen is like there's no I never have road rage in Hazen ever.
Yeah.
Even if there is someone driving around me that is, it doesn't bother me. But the minute I hit Bismarck, man,
Things shift for you.
Well, yeah, and I've gotten, I mean, again, it probably doesn't bother me now like it did even a year or two ago, but um, that's one thing I probably need to keep working on is the road rage. And we've talked about this too. I think people that drive, I think we just drive so selfishly now, and that's what bugs me. It's not the driving. It's like people are so selfish, you know, when they drive. I need to be first. I get to be first. I'm going to be in front of you. I can drive whatever speed limit you know, that is with no regard to other people. I'm going to be on my cell phone. I don't care. I'm not supposed to. I don't care. You know, like it's just such a, I don't know. I think driving brings out some ugly tendencies in people.
Yeah, you can tell a lot with driving, can't you?
Yes.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny is yesterday I was seriously staring. I was staring at the lights, the red, green, whatever, the traffic lights, and it turned green, and I just kept staring at it. And pretty soon I see, like, I get a honk, and I'm like, thank you. Like, I was
Yeah.
in, I was like, I needed that because like, I'm okay if I'm messing up, like a honk, especially
Yes.
like that. I'm like that. It was not me trying to be whatever. I don't know what I was doing. I was in La La Land, staring
Yeah.
up, and
Yeah.
but then there are some times where it just turns green, and if I don't let off the brakes, I get a stop, a honk or whatever. I'm like, dude, like calm down, you know. But
Right.
it's funny, yeah. It's like sometimes like I need the honk for sure, and then
Well,
sometimes
and I never know if I should honk because I don't want to be rude, but sometimes, yeah, people are, but it's when they're on their phone. God, that pisses me off. Get off your freaking phone. Like, get off your phone. Our
yeah,
phones, and that's a whole, well, that should be a podcast episode, like how our phones are just taking over our minds, you know, but
yeah, for
anyway,
sure. Well, you had a big year, honestly. So,
yeah, yeah,
um,
year and a half.
year
Yeah,
and
for
a half,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, let's start from the beginning. What was happening beginning of 2025?
Beginning of 2025, well, and we may have talked about this. I can't remember. We talked about literally January 1st of 2025. Um, you know, the idea of selling Karma Vita Wellness Spa in Bismarck, which I previously owned, created and owned. And I do take a lot of pride in that. It's not that I didn't take pride in it, but I didn't think about it much. But now that I no longer own it, I take a lot of pride in being the creator and the founder of Karma Vita Wellness Spa in Bismarck. And anyway, I had toyed around with the idea of selling it, and it'd been in my, like, I knew that I was going to sell it. I just didn't know when. And I knew that maybe I didn't know this for sure, but I was pretty sure that my future was going to take me to Hazen. Um, I just didn't know when.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that had been since the fall of 2024, that had been in my mind. And so I kind of was talking to like key employees about it and, um, testing their thoughts on if they wanted to potentially be the new owners, because they would obviously have been my first choice. And then January 1st of 2025, I ran into Lana Brooks, who ended up purchasing Karma Vita. Ran into her and we just were having like a mundane, like just a conversation. And she was going to have to sign a lease on her building. She's the owner of Terry's Health Products in Bismarck. And she just said, I just have some questions about your lease. And she was asking me some questions. And she's like, are you going to renew it when it comes up? And I go, I don't know that I'll even own Karma Vita when my lease comes up. And she's like, why are you selling the spa? And I go, why do you want to buy a spa? And she was like, maybe. So that kind of started our conversation. And we had multiple conversations. And at one point, she bowed out. She said, nope, I can't do it. And then I had some conversations with other people again, and they just weren't the right fit, in my opinion, of the business that I created and I founded. It wasn't my opinion that I wanted to
Yeah.
choose the right person, and um, and then Lana just came back. Not She didn't come to me. I went back to her, with a different proposal, and it was the right one. And we made a deal, and it was a great deal for her. It was a great deal for me. And Lana was 100% the right person to take over my business. And she's done things that I would never do with it. And I love all of it. I love that she's taken it to a different place than me. I love that her vision of it is very different than mine because it's not my business anymore. It's like we talked about with your episode, like let go, and I know she's said it to me a couple times, and some other people have been like, well, what do you think of the changes? I don't care. I don't care. It's her business. I still work there a couple days a month. I love it. I love going there and seeing my clients and seeing my coworkers now. They're my coworkers instead of my employees. I love it. I love it. It's so freeing. It was so freeing to let go of this business that I loved so much. And it just opened space for other things in my life. And I think that's what we forget about letting go. This is where I might cry. Like for me, even just letting go of Jerry, who passed away.
Yeah.
Like I have to let go of him. I don't want to, but I have to a point. And there's duality in that. I can still hold on to him in certain ways. And I'm learning to navigate that. But in order for me to move forward in a lot of different ways, I have to let go of him. And that's very freeing, and it opens up space for other things, not just other potential partners someday, but just for things in general. You have to let go. So letting go of the ownership of my business was key for me, with or without, no matter that I thought it was going to look a lot different than my life ended up looking a lot different than I thought it would when we originally started talking about selling the business. Um, you have to let go of things, right?
Yeah.
So letting go was great for me, and I'm filling that space with other things, and Karma Vita and Hazen, and 010 retreats, and just other, like you said, when people ask what you do all day, well, I mean, I do work a lot still, but we find ways to fill our space, right? You read, you walk, you um, sit in silence sometimes. I spend time with my dog. I obviously come down to Arizona, which I love, and do things here. And I'm learning. We were talking earlier. I need to learn to fill my space here, because this winter coming down here, um, it was such a gift. It was such a huge gift in my grieving process. And I'm finding that I need less of that time to grieve now, so, which again, I'm so thankful for that. I'm not allowing it to take over my life, because I understand how people can allow that grieving to take over your whole life, but I don't want that, nor would Jerry have wanted that, so it's like, now I'm thinking, how am I going to fill my time down here, which was this winter spent very differently. So now I'm thinking, like we talked about, do I look for people to hike with? Do I look for clubs to join? Do I go down to the community place and do some yoga and some swimming aerobics, or water aerobics, things like that? I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but this is the first time that I've been down here where I think like I'm ready to start, diving in, finding my people here and my community here. And so, so yeah, my life looks a lot different than a year and a half ago, as does when we started this 010 journey. Life looks a lot different, and not at all what I thought it was going to look like. So you either go with the flow or you resist it. And I don't want to resist it. I think that it's extremely unhealthy to resist where life takes you, even in sadness and pain. You have to go that way.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm sure there's lessons to learn in the death of a partner, but I don't know what they are.
No.
Just learning to cope, I suppose, and learning to, love in a different way. Because I still love him, but it's different now.
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, there's probably all kinds of lessons that I'll be able to look back at this time and see that I've learned. But I'm riding the wave. I'm just,
And I don't know if when it comes to lessons, I feel like there's a maybe a negative connotation to it, and not that it's not, but like sometimes it's just almost like learning more. You're learning more about yourself through it,
yes. Yeah,
like just
right.
it's like lesson 12 in Hooked on Phonics. You know,
Right.
I'm not
Right.
trying to minimize it, but you know, like
Oh,
it's
no.
just the next thing. Yeah. Not that something wrong was happening, but
Right.
something there. I do have a question because I feel like I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I don't know. Um, did you have the conversation about your business with Jerry about
Hmm.
selling it, right? Can you go over that a little bit? Like, because I feel like he was part in that, wasn't he? In
In the
like helping,
beginning or in
yeah,
the
in the
middle
beginning.
there? In the beginning.
Well, where there was something
Yeah.
there, I can't remember what it
Yeah,
was, where he's like,
there
she the
was.
right girl. Yeah. Can you explain that story just a little bit?
Well,
Because I think that goes to say like what I think business and him, like where those were kind of moving together.
right, right.
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, he was concerned, like, he thought that I was giving up my business because of him, which, I mean,
Oh,
I suppose technically it kind of was, although I'm definitely not the kind of person that would have given up my business for a man, quote unquote. It was just if if we were going to move forward, it was going to be in Hazen,
mhm.
not Bismarck, and I didn't want the I mean, I was ready. I was ready to let go of my business. I was ready. Um, I think I have that 7 year itch type of thing where, and it doesn't, it's not like it's exactly 7 years, but there always comes a point where I get restless to the point of like, this no longer serves me. Right. And I knew that I also was no longer serving my business in the way that I should.
Yeah.
I
It's a
just,
huge thing.
yeah, I knew that I knew that somebody else could do it differently. And, even the girls, when I talked to them, they were like, do you have to sell it? Why can't we keep just doing what we're doing? And I'm like, because it's not serving. There's no forward motion. We're just stagnant. And so anyway, that was his big concern was like, okay, are you selling this business because of me? Well, kind of. But at the end of the day, no, that wasn't it.
Well, and it was
Um,
us, right? It was like it's for both, like for you guys
for
to
our
make.
future,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Do I want to be um, being a business owner, we've talked about so many times, it's such a blessing, but there's a lot of challenges that come along with it. And there just comes a point where I don't want those challenges anymore. I've worked hard my whole life. I've always been a hard worker, and I'm ready to not do that anymore. Not that I don't work hard in my job now, but it's different. It's different. And the biggest thing is it's different when you're accountable for the financial future of your employee. Like it's hard to have employees to carry employees. It can be very hard, right? Especially when you love them, and I loved my employees. And, you know, I just knew that I was doing them a disservice at this point because I wanted to be in Hazen and I had opened a room there and I loved it there. And I just knew that that was going to be my future. So anyway, that was his biggest concern. And then there did come a point when, um, Lana we had come to a standstill and I was talking to somebody else, someone who I care very much for and cared for very much and still do to this day. And we were talking about her purchasing the business and it didn't feel right to me. And so, that was really difficult. That was a really, really difficult thing. Because she really wanted the business and I just knew it wasn't right. She may not have known that and she may never know that, but I knew it wasn't right. And so Jerry and I gave her a really good deal. I presented to her a really, really great opportunity. And I don't know if she just didn't see it that way. I don't know. I can't speak to what she was thinking, but she was struggling with it. and wanted a better deal and wanted some things that I couldn't give. And so Jerry had said to me, "Why are you giving her this such a great deal? Why?" And I said, "Because she's my employee and she's my friend and I love her and I care about her and I know she really wants it." And he goes, "Well, don't you love Lana too? And isn't Lana a good friend of yours too? And why wouldn't you give her such a great deal?" And I was like, "That's true. That's really true. That was really true. He was so right. Like, why did I feel this loyalty? Well, because she was my employee, and a friend, and had worked together for many years, and I just really, truly, genuinely cared about her. And but he said, but Lana too. And so I was like, and I did know inside of me that Lana was the right person for it. So anyway, so he was the voice of reason there. Jared was the voice of reason in a lot of ways to a lot of people. And so I was thankful for that because he pointed me in the right direction. And honestly, it was like 3 days later that the deal was done.
Yeah.
Like it was just like that. It was a done deal. And it was everything felt right and there was no resistance and there was no, it was right. It was right for her. It was right for me. Now I don't know if she still feels that way. I know she loves being the owner, but again, there's a lot that goes along with, and for her, she walked
It's
into an
different than
existing
retail.
business. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And she's done an amazing job. And but I know that it's a lot. So kudos to her for taking that on and taking it on and with such grace in that respecting, and I don't need it. I'm not someone who needs it, but she's been so respectful of my role and continued role there. And she's a wonderful human.
And she's been on our podcast before. So you guys, if you don't know who Lana is, go and check her out because our discussion was really great with her too. And that was,
Yeah.
I can't remember if that was in the middle of what you guys are up to. I
I
feel
think
like
it
it
might have
was
been
because I think we were like tiptoe, like, not
tiptoeing
fully
around it.
like
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
I don't remember how it all went down,
Well, I
but
mean,
I'll have to go back and listen again too.
yeah. I mean, it was a 10-month process, 9-month process because it
Right.
started January 1st and she took over October 1st. So, I mean, it was an ongoing sort of thing for us. But yeah, she's a wonderful human being, and she's a wonderful um, representative of how you should treat people and how you should treat your employees. And yeah, she's a I can't say enough nice things about her. Yeah.
Good cat. We like her. We like Lana.
Yeah. And very respectful of not just my role there, but also like the culture the culture of Karma Vida and how it began and she's maintained the culture of certain things and how the employees most especially would like things to be. So yeah, anyway, it's
That's
great.
awesome. That's
Great.
that's a good metaphor, honestly, like real life metaphor of the process of anything. 9 months it took from yes to actually happening,
Yeah.
right? Or like conversation, sorry, conversations,
Right.
actually, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like how many things happen in between there and all those like little works being done in the midst of, this result that you were hoping for, but also not attached to, right? Like
100%.
it's, yeah. And health is very similar, right? Like anything. And it's all like this linear life that we think we're living. It's not. It's not linear.
No,
Like,
and we live in such a world of immediate gratification that
yeah.
that's where people I think forget that the journey is part of the I wouldn't say fun because part of this journey wasn't fun. And,
100%.
part of it, you know, um, fractured a relationship that I care very much about. But at the same point in time, I trust the outcome. I trusted that the outcome was going to be the best for everybody involved. And so, yeah, you do have to, you can't hurry, you can't rush, you can't force, none of those things you can do. You have to just let things flow.
Hmm.
Um, and they will always flow you in the right direction, like literally always flow you in the right direction.
I think when you start butting up, I don't know, this reminded me of like a resources thing. Like you start butting up into frustration sometimes in like as you're trying to move forward with something, and how you have to set that ego just completely in the back seat. It doesn't get to ride anymore because you have to probably ask for help or shift in a way. And just like how you brought a different proposal to Lana, right? Like all of it, just like, no, everything is going to have to sit back and we'll see how this unfolds now. Like I've had to do that too many times to count, but it usually just unfolds in a good direction from there. I don't
Mhm.
know. Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
now where are we at? We are at what point? October.
Well,
So
yep.
then
So
what's
now
what's been
we're
happening
October.
since then? What's been happening in your life
Well,
since October? Because I
well,
was that
you
when I
you well
went?
know this. Yes,
Isn't
we
that when we
drove
went?
down here. We left
Yeah,
the business sold the first. You and I left on the third.
that's right.
We
That's right.
filled up Gerald the Jeep with some things from North Dakota and we headed south to Arizona and we had a fun trip. Um, and then we kind of got after it when we were down here. I mean, there was a lot to be done in this house that Jerry and I purchased together. And there was a lot to be done. Like I do think back and I'm like, ugh, but yeah, we got it done and we were very productive. We met my neighbors, all the fun things, and just you helped me settle in and um, come into my new space, which of course at that time didn't feel like my new space. And that's a really great. This is a really great story, I think, too. It was good to be here and everything, but I didn't feel much of attachment to it, which is common, I would imagine. And we may have talked about this before too. There was some funky energy here that needed to be um, we needed to have that let go. We needed that to be gone. So there was a lot of open windows. There was a lot of open doors. There was a lot of Josie did a lot of cleansing. I did too, but you did more of it. Um, and yeah, there was just a lot of heavy, stagnant. I don't want to say negative, but I mean, it just didn't feel great in here,
It's
right?
heavy. It's just a heavy place.
Very
It
heavy,
really
very
was.
heavy.
And it's
Yeah.
super airy. I mean, your whole place is so airy that it was very confusing. I remember that feeling like, what? Like,
Yeah.
like you have so
Yes.
much sun and just a nice
Right.
cool breeze and like nice mornings. And it was like, why, as soon as we walk in here, that it's just like, that,
Yes.
so good. I'm glad that you're
Agreed.
not feeling that way anymore.
Well, and we learned there was some
Yeah.
reasons for the heavy energy, and that's fine. And it's gone now, but it took some time. It wasn't just that time. Then I came back down in November by myself. The house was painted in the meantime. That made a huge difference.
Yeah.
But it's still in November was, so I still did a lot of cleansing. Again, a lot of open windows, a lot of airflow. And then I just slowly kind of started adding my things here. That helped. And then I came back in um, just a couple days in December, but January I spent 2 full weeks here. And one of the things that happened during that time frame was that a group of people from Hazen came down here. They have homes in Leisure World, which is in Mesa, which is north of Santan Valley. Anyway, they came down and they just it's such a representative of these amazing people that have been introduced into my life because of Jerry. But they didn't ask, well, they probably asked, but they were like, we're coming on this day. What day works? We're coming this day. We're bringing food. The men are coming a couple days beforehand. Have a list ready for them. So the men came down and they did all kinds of things around the house, which was just when they left that day, I felt I was so, I mean, gratitude and thankfulness are not even big enough words for how I felt. And they just did things like, oh, like the garbage disposal was stuck. Well, come to find out, because it's so dry down here, you're supposed to put a little oil. Oh, that's what they told me to do. Put a little olive oil in there when you leave every time and cover it up so it stays, and then just run it. And well, sure enough, this now I don't have that problem anymore, but they unstuck the garbage disposal. They gave me a tip. They put together a table that I had ordered for my back patio. That took a lot of time. They figured out the sprinkler system for me. They figured out the waterfall on my swimming pool. They figured, like, I can't even remember all the things they did. Oh, there was light problems in one of them's an electrician. They got up in the system. They figured out my light. Like, I can't even tell you all the things that they figured out for me when they were here. And it was priceless. I mean, sure, I could have hired somebody to do it and paid them, and that would have been just fine. But to have these people come in who were friends of Jerry's, loved him, now are friends of mine. I think because they brought that like desire to help. They just, when someone passes away, we want to do something, right? We want to do something for the people that are left behind to deal with the grief. And they came with that sort of attitude of like, we're helping Jerry and we're helping Andi. And they just brought, to pay someone would be transactional. They brought that relationship piece of it to the house. And then to have this potluck a couple days later where the women, everybody came. I don't remember how many of those, 18 of us or something. I don't remember. And and then my neighbors came over and they brought gifts, which I can't even, that wasn't like, I had no clue they were going to bring gifts, but they brought gifts. And above and beyond that, they brought laughter and warmth and love and community. And they just brought all these things into my house that by the time they left that night, my house was completely different. Like if you would have walked in, like for sure now when you come here, because you haven't been here for a while, you'll be like, how is this even the same house? The difference is mind boggling. So I'm so thankful for that. Like that, just them coming here pushed it to a
Yeah.
whole different home. And it's interesting when you think about that. Like I don't know if everybody understands the importance of your space and to keep it, it's open the windows, but also fill it with love. Fill your home with love and I mean, love, I guess, it really encompasses all of the other things, doesn't it? But it's important. It's
It does.
important.
And you show it love, right? Like by um I don't know if you're when you're cleaning it. Like when we were working through your house, we did not like come in like this needs to be done. This is nasty, whatever. It was like, clean this up, feel this out. Like we're loving on the house, not like out of I hate this place, right? Like some
Right.
people can't like we could
Right.
or maybe I would have in the past like, oh, this place is a dump, like we got to work on this. It's like, okay, we're going to lighten this up, like
Right.
it's just a completely different perspective on it. And I don't I'm speaking as a woman and you too, right? Like we're just like we bring that into homes sometimes, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you're
And
right. Because that's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think about like how many bachelor pads I've been in, to be honest. And they don't I have not been in one men's like only a guy that lives there. And it's nothing against them, but it's not they're heavy they're kind of heavier
Different.
houses. They're different. Yeah. And they're okay with it, I think. Or something. Like I don't know. I don't quite I feel like I want to feel it differently, when I walk in there. Um but why do you think that is? Like why can we not or how do we see the importance of that in how it feels, energetically
Because
and guys don't because they love that
it's
feeling.
it's the masculine and the feminine.
Is that just all it is?
It's got to be, although it doesn't make sense necessarily, because the masculine is the doing and the feminine is the being. But the being, really, the women being, really, if women are truly just being and receiving, and they just emit this, right, this love and this, and then like you said, you don't, it's not like you walk in, because that doesn't work. When you walk into a man's space and you start going this and this, and they
Oh,
don't know, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. But as you fill the space with love, things just evolve, right? Then you bring in a plant and you let the plant, and then yeah, like it just, and honestly, I think too, when we came into this space, this home, there wasn't, for me, and I don't think for you, it wasn't judgment either. Like how it was painted, how it was decorated, it was not at all how I would have decorated a home or painted a home. But this woman that lived here clearly loved her home, and she decorated it and painted it how she wanted it. And there was respect with that too. So there wasn't that, you're right, there wasn't like, ugh. I mean, maybe a little bit of it with a couple of the things because they were difficult to deal with, but not like in a judgment way, like, oh, this is awful. No, it was adorable for how this woman saw her home, right?
Yeah, it was very congruent through it. Like you know,
Yes.
and
Yes.
yeah, I don't want to mean that I was judging your house at all. It was or
No,
anything. It was beautiful.
no.
It was beautiful, but it was affirming that we both felt
Oh,
similar. You
it
know,
was heavy.
especially when you're going through something that was going to be heavy anyway,
Right. Right.
right?
Yeah.
But cool.
No,
Your
now it's
house.
like it's a whole different home. It's awesome. It's simple. It's very simple. And I'm so ever forever thankful to have had this space for sure for this winter. This winter it was, I can't even tell you what it meant to me to be here this winter. So yeah, so that was October. We drove down here. And then yeah, just spent a winter working, being embraced by the community of Hazen, and um, just letting things flow. And I know I probably have mentioned this on previous podcasts. I've said it to many people. Someone had said to me, no big decisions for 1 year. And I've loved, and it's not just that, I just decided for 1 full year to, and not that I don't live my life that way anyway, but literally no pressure of anything ever, like no pressure at all.
Yeah.
Um, no pressure to do anything, or no pressure to make decisions, no pressure to, if it feels good, I do it. And again, within reason, I keep myself in check. It's not like, oh, it would feel good to eat a whole pizza. So I'm going to, but I mean, so I keep things in check, but like, I just have allowed myself the space to, and thank goodness I've had that. I mean, I can't even, I feel for people who don't have that, but I've been allowed the space to grieve properly. And I feel like I'm coming out of it, out of, pushing this 1 year in August of Jerry's death. I feel like I'm coming upon that really in a healthy space. And it's not like as of August 9th of 2026, something miraculous is going to happen and I'm done grieving. But I'm just saying, like, up until that point, I don't push myself to do anything. Now, after that point, if I'm struggling with some things, I might put a little bit of, I think I just know that I will be at that point. I won't need that anymore. I won't need it.
I
I,
think that's a huge piece. That's such good advice, first off. Um, and was it from somebody who's experienced it before? Or
no, but it
who
was
told you
a
that?
wise woman. Her name is Maxine Beckwith, and she's Jerry's aunt in a way. She's his father-in-law, Harvey, his sister, Maxine. And these are just wise, lovely
Wise
people.
woman.
And yeah.
My what I was thinking was I wouldn't know a timeline, but they say that even with anything that you're feeling, that even if it's anger or sadness or whatever, like feel it fully and then give yourself a deadline of when it's done and a respectable one, like understanding that. And I don't think I would have known a year, but wow, like what permission to, I know when I did my first brain scan, that was something that the doctor told me. He was like, no, nothing new for 6 months. And I'm like, because that's what I tend to do, as you know.
Yeah.
Nothing new for 6 months. And it was just like, okay, like here we are. And it was just good. And it's not saying that there's not a time for new things at some point, but like, yeah, the ability to have that space, like, wow, like, I can't imagine not being able to have it because like you said, some people don't have the opportunity to take it, I guess, but
Well, and
what a
what if I would
gift.
have still had Karma Vita in Bismarck? You know, I wouldn't have had that. I wouldn't have had that gift.
You're right.
So again, it's just trusting that, you know, do you have to trust that someone's going to be taken from you in death? No, but I'm just saying, like, you trust that whatever journey that's going to come your way, you will be equipped to be in the space, you know, to handle it. And yeah. Sometimes it's just
That's
mind boggling still, you know, it's just mind boggling. You think about, and again, I just feel for people who don't have that because I don't know how I would have, I don't know what kind of space I would be in if I would have even just simply still had Karma Vita in Bismarck.
yeah.
I wouldn't be anywhere near into the process of grieving him that you know, I wouldn't be this far in. And this, I do feel like I'm in a very healthy place with all of that.
Yeah.
And that time frame can be different for everybody. That's what I've
100%.
given, that's what I've given myself, you know. And you talk about judgments. When people lose someone that they love, there is, for why do we judge? I don't know. That's another thing I can't wrap my head around. Why do we judge how people behave after they lose somebody? There's no real right answer, is there? I mean, this is how I've chosen to handle it. Um, and again, it's not like the 9th of August is a magical date for me. Um, uh, I could be done with, not done, but I mean, again, how do I want to say this? I don't expect there to be anything crazy before or after that date. That's just a date that I've given myself, you know? I may not need all that time is what I'm saying. I may not need
And
all
you're not
that
going to
time.
hold back because you're,
Right. I'm not going to
because, oh,
say
I
like,
don't,
well, I'm
no, I'm
grieving.
supposed to wait till the ninth.
Yeah,
Like,
I can't do this because I'm grieving. You know, no, like that's not how I look at it. But there are some things where I think to myself, okay, wait a minute, no, I'm not ready to make a decision like this yet. Maybe at the year mark I will be, or maybe it'll be before then, or whatever. But
yeah.
it's different for every person. And I think losing a partner, um, you know, I think about it a lot with Jerry's family. They lost a father or a brother or a son-in-law, or you know, they lost a brother-in-law. Whatever they lost is a lot. It's all different, and that's, I think, again, what people don't understand is like, well, you know, I lost my so and so and I this or that afterwards. Okay, well, it's different for every person. It's different losing a father where, and it's, you know, versus losing a brother versus losing a partner. You know, it's all different. None of it is better or worse or more painful or less painful. It's all painful, and you have to respect that. And that is another gift that I've been given, is his family, and how they are all very understanding that we're all going through this together in parallel. It's all, we're all feeling it different, and we all, um, you know, he was in our lives in different ways. And I think you can run into trouble where you assume that you should know how it feels to lose somebody. And yeah, so that's how I've chosen to handle it, is 1 year.
Yeah.
Um, 1 year of just feeling whatever needs to be felt and letting it go if I can, you know. And that's something I think too. I learned this, actually, it was in my retreat with Kimberly Rowlandson, who was on our podcast. We read a book, and of course I don't remember the name of it. I'd have to think a while. But anyway, one of the things that I took from that book that was priceless for me was feel the pain and let it go. And it talked your way through it, right? Is like, okay, well, obviously that pain when I first lost Jerry was overwhelming. So you want to stuff it, right? Or you want to push it away. You don't want to feel it because it's horrible, but you have to feel it and you have to work through it. And then you let it go. And in this book, they give you like visualization and all kinds of different ways you can just try to physically let it go in a um, so I do that. I do that. And then of course it gets less and less and less, and it gets easier and easier and easier as you learn to let these things go. It'll always be painful, but I don't want something like this to be debilitating for my life.
Yeah. Doesn't mean that you don't respect it. Doesn't mean that you don't aren't grateful for it, or you know what I mean? Like,
It's life changing either way,
yeah,
right? So why would you choose to let it be life changing in a negative way? Like, yeah, I don't want to be the person that lays around and cries all day long. Like, I don't want that. And honestly, I've always felt this way. It doesn't serve the person who passed either.
yeah.
Like they wish they could still, they probably don't, honestly.
Yeah, I know. They're
They
probably like,
probably don't wish they're still here,
amazing up
but
here,
yeah.
but yes,
But
but doesn't mean they don't miss you.
they wouldn't waste their lives that way.
Right.
Because, from their vantage point, they'd be like, I would never waste a day like that, laying around crying. So do I cry? You've seen it. Yes, I cry, but let it go, move on. Get up off the couch, get up off out of bed. You can't, and I've never lost a child. I imagine that's something that's a completely different journey. And I don't judge how anybody behaves in grief, but I'm just eternally thankful for him being in my life, period. So I can't be sad about that forever.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm a year and a half, October of uh, really 2024 when we started this journey till now. Um, I'm thankful for every part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thankful to be part of your journey, and I don't know, like
Yeah. And
it's
honestly,
been a
as far as
crazy,
0 to 10,
crazy
think of
journey.
all the great people that we've met through our podcast
Yeah.
over the
So
last,
many things. Yeah,
yeah,
not and even just like in and our retreats, like
yeah,
just the people that have came to those and um I don't
yeah,
know. Like you mentioned somebody today who has been listening before you even knew her and
yeah.
how much she enjoys it. And I was like, okay, if one person wants to hear us talk, like heck yeah, like let's
We'll
go.
keep talking.
We can talk. I mean,
We'll
this
keep
is great.
talking.
So, yeah, just you never know. You never
You
know.
do never know. You do never know.
But I am super grateful to be like at this point, like I mean our relationship has grown quite a bit since I first met. Well, first off, when you first meet somebody, but it's kind of crazy, like all the things that have came up and
Mhm.
um I'm thinking I have a picture in my mind and it's the when we were at Caroline and Hannah's party and we're both dressed
Oh
in
yeah.
glitter. I was wearing your jumper and we're just like reminiscing. And we were just sitting there, we were really just chatting with each other and both just, I don't know, it just seemed like that picture seemed is joy in my mind.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that
Yeah, I do too.
with you.
And joy, you brought it up in your episode that we were talking to you about where your journey has led you. And you, I don't remember, you said something about joy, and I think um, we've heard it before. I've heard it before. I'm sure you have, but like it's finding the joy in little things. And anytime you go through difficult times, because I don't presume because I'm grieving that you didn't go through difficult times over the last, our time together too. People go through difficult times. It doesn't have just because it's not a death of someone you love doesn't mean that it's not difficult. Some of the things that we go through in day-to-day life. And I think the really important thing to remember is to just focus on the things that you find joy in. And it doesn't have to be, it can be a brand new house in Arizona. It's not brand new, but you know what I mean? It can be a new home in Arizona, but it's very simple for me. It's literally sitting outside listening to the birds chirp. Like if that doesn't bring you joy or peace of some kind, I think it's time to do some real serious internal um, reflection because those really truly are the things that bring joy in day-to-day life, right? Is
And they are all around us. It's happening, whether we experience it or not. I would rather, I think,
yeah,
like you said, experience it or for the good, rather, whichever,
right,
however that goes. But
right,
and we
right.
all are just trying. We're all just humans here, like just and
We're souls inside of a human body for
we are
sure.
souls inside of a human
But
body.
you have to experience the human part of it
Yeah,
and
we
the
do.
soul part and the soul journey. That's where I do think people are missing that soul piece of it sometimes, but it's not my business.
Not our
It's not my
business.
it's not my business.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for 010. I'm thankful for you. And I look forward to seeing our check-ins in another year and a half to 2 years. And I look forward to seeing where life brings us.
me too. Me
Yeah.
too. All right. Well, thanks,
Today life
guys.
is going to bring me outside to my pool and
Thank
my
the Lord.
I'm going to go lay on that lounger right there. And oh, one of my best girlfriends from the third grade is coming to visit me today. I'm going to try to talk her into being on our podcast because she's a remarkable woman. Um, so yeah, where's life bringing you today?
That's a great question, honestly.
Who
I think
knows?
who knows? I might before it gets cloudy, I'm gonna go for probably a little walk here. We've been on the computer for a bit, so I'm gonna go do that. But there's a good chance a paintbrush comes out today.
Ooh,
hmm There's a good chance. We'll see.
all
Yeah.
right.
So I'll keep you updated on the Reno, Josie's Reno. Although, yeah, as a someone who, I guess when you talked about appreciating help, like I had my dad and mom came yesterday and just helped me get through some things that needed to be taken care of that I could have done, but it would have taken me a lot, right? And like learning. And when they did, they came in and they helped me clean some stuff up or like put a light in or whatever. Like it just created some momentum, and in a good way. And yeah, we just need some help sometimes. We just need some help sometimes.
It's so funny because yeah, we do need help. And why do we not ask for it? Or why do we not accept it? Like it's such a weird thing for me, and maybe I'm only speaking for me, not we as a collective, but it's for me, I've never ever thought to ask somebody for help. I mean, it's pretty rare. And the couple times I have, I don't know that I've gotten the response that I wanted. So I think you just like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to ask anymore.
Yeah.
We should always be we should be helping each other. And like how, again, how these people they didn't ask. They just came. They're like, make a list. We're coming to do this for you. When did we stop doing those types of things? And I think in your community, I'm guessing it's a similar thing, right? Or I always think of farmers in that aspect.
Yeah, I would
A
say
farmer
that
struggles. Why does everybody come in and help?
it's changing a little bit. I will
Is
say that
it?
it is. But there are some that I mean, it's still around. One big thing is rural um, fire departments. Like that's things, emergencies like that, or like fundraisers, right? In Hazen, I'm sure you noticed
Oh yeah.
fundraiser stuff, right? Like how a
Yeah.
whole community comes together for those things. But I think that's a great lesson. There's so many. Okay, whoever listened to this podcast, like there's a lot of tidbits here, a lot of wisdom here, but that's a big one is just um, not being scared to offer help, unsolicited help. You
Right.
know,
Right.
it does feel really good too when as the helper, when you're able to do that.
Feels amazing.
It really does. Yeah. So thank you for sharing your heart, Andy. It's been great.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we'll talk soon.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.